I call the meeting to order of the Public Utilities Commission, August 26, 2014. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 22nd and the special meeting held on August 8th of 2014.
I'd offer that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion and second to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of July 22nd and also the special meeting of August 8th. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item 2A, we'll hear from the city manager regarding the utility operations for the month of August.
I think you've all had an opportunity to review the activity report. Just a couple things that just kind of point out that many of our projects, even at today's staff meeting, we're dropping off the list. They're being completed, so we've had I think a very successful summer in getting our projects taken care of. One thing you may want to note is under gas, we've seen some main extensions in Gibbon and Fairfax. We provide the staff for those two gas utilities, and they have a tremendous amount of growth for Gibbon and Fairfax, so we've been doing some activities over there. Just one item to probably point out, and that is that the annual, we've got the average utility bill, which I think is quite interesting. It's dropped approximately almost 70%. From $378 in March down to, actually it was lower in June to $165, and now it's up about 9%, 6.7%. So that just reflects the really cold winter that we had for that extended period of time. You can see on the graph that is in your packet that the January, February, March, and April were all exceedingly high. I'm going to attribute that to the heat bills, but we've returned to normal for the spring and partial summer. So we're kind of back on track. Hopefully that anomaly doesn't occur in the future. We did add. This used to be a 24-month graph. Now I've listed it as a 25-month. So you'll see July show up 3 times. And so every time you have a new month, when you have August, you'll see August 3 times, so that you get a little bit more history than just, 2 August or 2 July. You'll get 3, and then the months in between. So that's the only modification we've done to that. So other than that, I think the utility is doing well. We are anticipating the utility director to come on board, Jim McCabe, on the 7th of September. First day of work will be the 8th. And I think the department heads are looking forward to seeing that occur. So if you have any questions on anything in particular, we'll let George answer them.
Okay, I would also like to recognize the PUC Employee of the Month for July, Terry Schneider. Terry is a clerical assistant in the wastewater treatment plant and has been employed by the Public Utilities Commission since March of 2003.
Move to receive and order filed the report regarding the utility operations during the month of August 2014.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion second to receive and order file the utility director or report regarding utility operations for August. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2B, we will hear from, we have Water Steam Department Supervisor regarding the Minnesota Department of Health lead copper tap water monitoring report for the PUC.
Yeah, just before, if there's any questions for George, just point out that I don't know why it didn't get put into the initial emailing of your packet, but it is here. You also have a paper copy if you want to look at that. That makes it a little bit better. But it looks like we're doing acceptable level. George, you may want to make any comments regarding where we are as far as the state regulations are concerned.
Yeah, we're required to do this every 3 years. We'd do it more often if we were in exceeding the action levels. We'd have to do this every year until we were under that. We do corrosion control. Mainly is our activity to reduce the lead and copper that dissolves into the water. And you see from your report there that we're in compliance with the rule for our lead and copper. And here in Minnesota, we also have a deadline on from the time that we get the results back until we send the results to the customers who were tested, and then send a letter of certification into the state saying that those people were notified within 10 days of us receiving the results. The primary thing I like to tell people is if they have lead and copper at high levels in their water, the main thing to do is to let the water run before they use the water. Let it run until the temperature changes. There is no lead or copper in the water coming out of our water plant. It all comes from the solder and the piping compounds inside the house usually. One of the worst offenders was the people who had expensive brass tap. The brass was allowed to have 20% lead up until last year. So anyway, if you want to minimize your exposure, just run the water for 2 minutes till the temperature of the water changes and you get the fresh water.
George, could you fail as an individual site, but the water utility still be in compliance as a whole?
Right. It's a complicated rule. This isn't like any other drinking water rule that the EPA has. It says there's an action level, so you can actually you can have up to 5% of your results being higher than the standard and still be in acceptable range and be under the action level.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to understand and hard to explain to people, but it's the way the EPA wrote the rule.
Okay. There is no proposed action on this, but I'm assuming we do need to receive and order filed the reports. Would that be accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking for a
I'd offer that motion.
motion. Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion to receive and order filed the report regarding the Minnesota Department of Health lead copper tap water monitoring report for New Ulm Public Utilities. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 3A, consider appointment of a commissioner to serve on the Personnel Committee. I have spoken with Commissioner Bernick, and he has agreed to serve on the committee, and so I just need a motion to that effect.
I'd move to appoint Commissioner Bernick to serve on the Personnel Committee.
Second.
Okay, motion and second, appointing Commissioner Bernick to serve on the Personnel Committee. Is there further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3B, we'll consider authorizing change order number 1, increasing the contract with MK Painting by $12,500 for the airport water tower reconditioning project.
The issue here, I guess, basically is OSHA requires that a fall arrest system be installed on ladder landings more than 20 feet apart. We are required to install those. The cost of that is $12,500. is not an option. To be in compliance, we have to do it. It's unfortunate we didn't catch it earlier, but as far as change order goes, this is a really kind of a minor, small item, and something we're required to do.
Mr. President,
I'd offer the motion to authorize the change order number 1, increasing the contract with MK Painting Incorporated by $12,500 for the airport water tower reconditioning project.
second.
Okay. A motion and a second to authorizing the change order to increase the contract with MK Painting by $12,500 on the airport water tower project. Is there further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3C, we'll consider awarding the bid for the South Side Substation Transformer and 69 kV breaker.
You have in your packet a bunch of blanks regarding who's going to receive these. I didn't know if anybody, these, I believe, did get sent out through email, so some of you might have seen it, some of you may not have. But basically, the recommendation from Power System Engineering is based on the recent transformer proposals. We recommend that New Ulm Public Utilities accept the transformer bid from Virginia Transformer, which is the lowest evaluated base bid transformer. The contract amount will be for $521,512.50. This includes the transformer, offloading assembly, testing, and a 5-year warranty at $489,750 and a Minnesota sales tax of $31,762.50. And this was below the budget amount of $550,000 for the transformer, so roughly $29,000 less. And then based on the recent breaker proposals, we recommend that the New Ulm Public Utilities accept the breaker bid from Alstom, A-L-S-T-O-M, which is the lowest evaluated base bid breaker. The contract amount will be for $41,258.06. This includes the breaker at $37,550, 5-year warranty at $1,126.50, and Minnesota sales tax of $2,581.56. This is below the budgeted amount of $30,000 for the breaker, so roughly almost $20,000 less on that particular item. So that would be the recommendation from Power System Engineering.
What was the large driver behind it being so far below budget on the large breaker, on the breaker bid? That's
I'm not aware of what that might be.
because all the bids were well below. Just wondering if we knew.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that one.
Okay.
I'd offer a motion awarding the bid for the Southside Substation Transformer to Virginia Transformer in the amount of $521,512.50.
Second.
Okay, we have motion second to award the bid for the Southside Substation Transformer to Virginia Transformer, as per the recommendation of the Power System Engineering. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I'd offer a motion to award the bid for the Southside Substation 69 kV breaker to Alston in the amount of $41,258.06.
Second.
Okay, motion and second to award the bid for the Southside Substation breaker to Alstom, as per the recommendation from Power System Engineering in the amount of $41,258.06. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3D, we'll consider adjusting the 2014 budget for administration salaries and administration wellness program. Mr. Barward.
President Steinke and Commissioners. I guess this is just a small adjustment that staff has been discussing. We, as you probably know, for 2014, we took a sizable increase in our health insurance premiums. It appears again that for 2015, we will also be taking a sizable increase. To try to alleviate this in the future, which it will be in the future, it's not going to be immediate or anything like that. We're trying to implement a wellness committee with a plan. Or a program related to that. The city council has approved 2,000 for 2014 to do some shifting of funds, and that's what we're asking here, is just to shift some funds from the savings from salaries for 2014 from people who have been unfilled this year, and to shift it to this wellness plan. A number of employees have been meeting on Wednesday nights for August, and have been exercising down at one of the parks on the walking paths. We have a number of other things that we'll be working on and so forth. One of the things that we're doing is we're coordinating with the Heart of New Ulm for some screenings, so we'll get those done reasonably cheap, since we can use them for that. And but we're looking for possibly one of the first things that we would do is try to entice people with just a small payment of I think it's $5 that we plan to do for employees, to try to entice them to go get the screening done as a starting point. And then we'll go from there. So just trying to get something going. We've looked at a number of plans. So I believe I've attached one article that was quite good, and seems to have a good plan that has worked. So we're just asking for a shift on the budget for 2014, and 2015 we'll be working that in. So
Okay, well, I'd offer the motion to adjust the 2014 budget with a $2,000 decrease to the salaries in the administration fund and a $2,000 increase to the wellness program.
Second.
Okay. Motion second to adjust the 2014 budget, the $2,000 decrease in salaries in the administration fund, and $2,000 increase to the wellness program. Is there any further discussion?
Just a quick question. Do I understand, though, that you're going to continue to look like that King County? I don't know, maybe it said in there how many years that's been going, but you're looking at other plans to see if some of these things work in other areas?
we have looked at a number of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And you're sort of following up on that to see what to do here?
Right.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Is the plan to, you apply the financial incentives to the insurance premium? Or is it cash?
Not
Here's
at this
$5?
point. It would be more of a cash outlay on this particular one. We'll be looking at other things to use it towards too. Could be things like pedometers. A good,
Incentive?
a good decent one to. You can get a lot of cheap ones, but one that will actually do a decent job. It could be other things too. So. Things to try to get the employees involved on that, so.
I think the committee is still working through many of the program details, but I think they wanted to just get it started as soon as we possibly can. Minor amount of money, and get the initial project done, which is the screening.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 3E, consider a resolution approving the agreement between New Ulm Public Utilities and Minnesota Valley Action Council and the Minnesota Department of Commerce to establish the terms for delivering energy assistance proceeds.
Mr. President, this looks like it's an annual thing that we just need to do every year to make sure that it works like it has in the past. I'd offer that motion, or resolution rather, and waive the reading.
Second.
Okay. We have motion and second to adopt the resolution, waive the reading, approving the agreement between the New Ulm Public Utilities, Minnesota Valley Action Council, Minnesota Department of Commerce to cooperate and deliver the Minnesota Energy Assistance Program for fiscal year 2015. October 1, 2014 to September 30th, 2015, and authorizing the finance director to sign the agreement on behalf of the New Ulm Public Utilities Commission. Call the roll.
Commissioner Baranek?
Yes.
Commissioner Finland?
Yes.
Commissioner Heine?
Yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
President Steinke?
Yes. Okay. Item 3F. Consider declaring miscellaneous utility computer equipment as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter.
I would recommend you do this because I think they went out last week to the county recycling event.
I'm not
I'll
really
move to declare miscellaneous utility computer equipment as surplus property and authorize disposition pursuant to the requirements of the city code and charter.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and second. Declaring miscellaneous utility computer equipment as surplus property, authorizing disposition pursuant to the requirements of city code and charter. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 4A, will consider acceptance of a list of claims paid.
Mr. President, I'd offer the motion to accept claims paid in the amount of $3,007,772.77.
Second.
Okay. The motion is to accept claims paid in the amount of $3,007,772.77. Is there further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item 4B is to consider acceptance of the list of claims to be paid.
I'd offer the motion to accept claims to be paid in the amount of $472,618.35.
Second.
Okay. Motion and second to accept claims to be paid in the amount of $472,618.35. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Are there any further comments or questions from the commissioners? Otherwise, we are adjourned.